Welcome each and every one of you to my YouTube channel. And I want to share some things with you. As I said on my last showing, that this is an opportunity this year for us to start growing in every area of our life. Every area. So we want to make sure we work on ourselves, work on our mental, work on our physical, work on our financial. All these things are important: spiritual, mental, physical, financial. When you start working on yourself, you're going to find yourself being more effective in life, and you're going to feel better about yourself, because the key to everything is progress. When you got progress going in your life, you're going to feel so much better about yourself. And I'm going to talk about, on this showing, I'm going to talk about procrastination, because we all have been guilty of procrastinating at some point in our life, at some level. And procrastination is hindering so many of us from being what we can be in our lives, because we put off for tomorrow what we can do today. And then when tomorrow comes, we put it off again. And so you begin to develop this habit of putting off what's necessary, and yet you're doing things that are not as important as what really needs to be done. So to just break down this word procrastination, it is simply when you're delaying or postponing tasks or actions, often in favor of doing something less urgent or more enjoyable. It typically involves avoiding tasks that requires effort or attention, even when there's a clear need to complete them. People often procrastinate due to feelings of anxiety, lack of motivation, fear of failure, or even perfectionism. While procrastination may offer temporary relief, it usually leads to stress, decreased productivity, and negative consequences in the long run. So procrastination is a big obstacle that can keep you from financial success. It can keep you from even taking care of your mental health when you know you need to really work on your mental, and you just keep putting it off. Maybe there's something you need to read or something you need to be doing, some type of special, maybe some type of training thing to get your mind up so that way you won't be in the mental negative, and you keep putting it off. Because see, the reason why you put off things that are highly necessary for us is that it takes effort, and it's moving us in a way that is contrary to our negative habit. So procrastination is putting off that positive thing that you need to be doing, that is going to take work and effort, and you want to stay in the comfort of the thing that you're presently doing now. And trying to be perfect before you get started, you'll never get started, because there's a saying that goes like this: you don't got to be great to get started, but you got to get started to become great. And so we got to understand how procrastination hurt us in the long run. It hurt our lives. It hurt our finances. It hurt our mental. It hurt our spiritual. Because if you refuse to meditate and to sit down sometimes and just look at your life and say, where am I at? What do I need to do? I procrastinate even with setting my goals. Your life has to be planned out, and you have to have a clear vision of what you want to do even. But then we still procrastinate on that. So we're not willing to put in the work that need to be put in and procrastinate things in our life. What's going to happen is we're going to end up not going where we really want to go. Something that happens when we procrastinate is we increase stress and anxiety in our life. There are some people that are stressed out and they got a lot on their mind because they are failing to do the necessary tasks. They keep putting them off. It could be maybe starting school, maybe starting a diet, maybe starting a training program, maybe putting off leaving certain environments, certain relationships, all of these things. And you put them off and you increase your stress and anxiety because you know deep down inside, you're not really where you want to be. And now procrastination can even affect you in your quality of work. Procrastination could have you have a reputation of not really getting the job done. You got a lot to say, but there's nothing being done. And definitely there's no productivity. And now you got feelings of regret. And now there's missed opportunity because you procrastinated so much. And when you should have been ready, when opportunity came, you wasn't prepared because you kept putting off the training. You kept putting off the studying. You kept putting off those necessary habits that you need to be doing so you could be more effective in your life. So that's what procrastination does to us. And now we want to get to the place that we begin to look at the things in our life that we have been procrastinating on. And sometimes it's good to write these things down because if your goal is to lose, let's just say 20 pounds, right? But you keep putting off looking at some type of plan of how you're going to start eating, some type of plan on how you're going to start exercising. If you keep putting those things off, then, and you don't write down a plan of action, something that you can say, I'm going to commit to this thing that I've written out, then it's going to be hard for you to fulfill that losing 20 pounds because it takes a plan of action. And then you got to begin to act on that plan of action. But if there's no written plan of action to get anything done, whether it's a job task, whether it's a business task, then it's not going to get done because you don't have it in your face to look at and say, look, I need to be doing this like this and have these steps put down. So let's look at how we can eliminate procrastination in our life so we can be more productive. We can get things done. We can reestablish a reputation of being consistent and persistent in the necessary things we need to be doing in our lives. We got to look at these things and say, let me see what I can do to eliminate procrastination in my life. Now, sometimes you got to break up things that you need to do in small little steps. And one thing you can start doing is write something down. You've got to write things down. It's very important. You got to begin to put some things in place that you're going to start doing starting today, starting when you get up. You've got to have this plan to get things going so you're not procrastinating on the same things you procrastinated over the last several years because you want to make a change. And procrastination is the hindrance because, to be totally honest, it's not really anything new under the sun when it comes to information or how to. The doing of those things is our biggest opportunity because we have all type of knowledge and information always in front of us. But if we're not willing to do something with what we hear, the only thing we're doing is just gathering information. We've got to begin to be a doer of the information we have and not just saying, I know. Because you saying, I know, but you never do. That just means it's going in your ear and it's somewhere in your head, but it's not being implemented in your life. Now, the next thing that can help you is if you set clear deadlines and goals. For example, you can say, well, if I'm going to do a certain type of exercise, let's just say, for example, let's say push-ups, for example. Let's say today is Monday and you decide to say, you know what? The day is Monday. By Friday, my goal is to have done 100 push-ups. So however you want to make that happen, by Friday or the end of Friday, I'm going to do 100 push-ups. Because you're trying to get started. You're trying to get something going. So now you've got a deadline. And so you make it achievable first, because you want to get something going. You want to have start this thing of urgency in your life when it comes to doing something to break the routine habit of procrastination. The next thing you want to look at is you want to create a distraction-free environment. Sometimes you got to clean up things, the clutter in your life. So the only thing you can kind of see is the things that you want to start doing to eliminate procrastination. Sometimes we have too many other things hanging around us. You know, get rid of the video games, get rid of the social media, get rid of unnecessary trash that you're listening to that's not going to be productive toward the goals that you need to be doing for yourself. And you've got to make sure that you have, okay, I got this set up. I see it. When I get up in the morning, I see this is what I need to start doing. You know, you got these tasks set up and you got to have these checklists. Sometimes you might have to give yourself a 3x5 card of a plan of execution on a daily basis from Monday through Friday or however you want to do it. But the goal is to have an environment of things to do, establishing that routine so you can become more effective in your life. You can start getting the results you really want to get. Now, there's something called the 5-minute rule. And this 5-minute rule is a challenge, because sometimes it just means that, you know, when you don't feel like doing something, you're procrastinating, just mentally tell yourself, I'm going to get going on this project for 5 minutes. And sometimes it's hard. Maybe you got to get up, you know, you got to change the routine to get up early in the morning to get something going, and you don't feel like doing it. You've got to just say, I'm going to get up anyway, and I'm going to start doing what I need to do. And what start happening is, at first it'll be hard. But as the minutes go by, you start doing it, you're going to slowly start building momentum in your life on those new routines. And you got to continue to do that. When you don't feel like it, do it. When you don't feel like reading, read. When you don't feel like studying, study. When you don't feel like working out, work out. See, you've got to make yourself go to work on yourself to get rid of those things of procrastination that are just kind of keeping you in the same spot. You know where you want to go, but you're still like just kind of saying, okay, I'm going to get it going tomorrow. No, start it right now. If you start right now, where it's like you're not quite, you know, it's like I'm doing it now. I'm kind of rusty, but I'm starting. See, then you start keep doing it. Then that muscle memory begin to kick in. And then you say, I'm kind of sensing in myself that I want to do this. And now my body's starting to agree with it, because it takes time. It takes practice, but you got to start doing it. You got to make yourself do it. And you got to do it when you don't feel like it until you begin to feel like it. Because that's the power of the discipline of the routine. And so as you do this thing, you're going to find yourself eliminating procrastination in your life, and you're going to find yourself becoming the person that you really want to be. And it's going to be by eliminating the procrastination, getting the routines down, setting priorities, setting deadlines, and making yourself go to work. Now, until next time, let's eliminate procrastination out of our life so we can be effective and we can continue to grow and be the person we really want to be And by the end of this year, we can see a great progression in our life, and we can see ourselves in the place we want to be.